Hi Unmesh, thank you so much for making time to meet with us today. With campus season coming up, students are really vying to kind of get the spotlight, with group discussions being the more trickier rounds. So we thought who better than our talent acquisition and talent head to give some useful and insightful tips and tricks. Are you ready?
Bring it on.
So Unmesh, my first question is, are there any specific topics or themes that candidates should prepare for in advance while participating in GDs?
You can't really prepare on that day, right? It's you as an individual, what you've practiced throughout the year and how you've prepared for the conversation that matters. Because on that given day, some organizations may test you with current affairs, some may test you with a global affair, or some may spin a controversial subject and just see how you react to it. So can you really prepare? It's what you read as an individual overall that prepares you for a great group discussion topic.
So Unmesh, on to our second question, which is, are there any general etiquette or professionalism guidelines that candidates should follow while conducting a group discussion?
I think as much as we all have the pressure to speak and impress, there's also listening that the listeners are testing you for, isn't it? Middle of a group discussion, how do you listen to others? How do you bring a very good, interesting dimension to the conversation? All of that matters as much as speaking alone. It's as much as listening, it's as much as building on other people's dimensions and bringing your own value add. One of the things I would suggest you practice inherently as a human being, right, is being respectful. You can't fake it, but just be respectful to other person, allow the person to complete the whole sentence, and then interject with a fairly interesting dimension on top of that can show your authentic self.
Unmesh, our next question is just about how somebody can strike a balance between assertiveness and listening during the GD, especially given the fact that it can be quite an intensive environment.
I think we already spoke of listening so far, and listening is a whole bunch of actions which you may not even know when you tuned into somebody, right? You're occasionally nodding your head, knowingly, unknowingly. Sometimes it's the eye contact. A lot of times I've seen the speakers looking at the panelist. I think it'll be great if you forget there are panelists in the room, because when you're authentically listening to your peers, it's great to have eye contact with them. But assertion is extremely different ballgame altogether, right? When you're listening, your body language will show that you're listening with intent, you're building on something in your head. But assertion is when you respectfully maybe bring a clarifying question, maybe you pause the conversation and bring a new dimension, maybe you remind the conversation and the participants that there is a certain time frame within which we need to operate, and help the group gravitate towards a consensus. So assertion is ensuring the group dynamics works towards building the objective of the conversation when we first started.
What are the top 3 mistakes that candidates should avoid?
I think the temptation is to dominate the discussion, right? So first is avoid doing that. Participate as if you're talking to your best friend over a cup of coffee, rather than ensuring that you dominate the entire conversation and just kill others. That's the worst thing one can do. The other is complete lack of preparation. I think we discussed about reading newspapers, books, authored books, and whatnot. You will be surprised on what dimension comes up to your rescue on a given day when you're well read. And the last is not speaking at all, right? You have a lot of content, you have all that right up there, but you did not speak on a bad day. I don't know how the panelist will magically understand about your content.
So thank you, Unmesh, for those great insights. If you could leave us with some closing thoughts, what would they be?
I think first of all, group discussions are an exciting time, right? You're with a comfortable group. You know your peers better than anybody. It's not yet a real corporate, and within that, what stands out is a lot of substance that you bring to the conversation. You cannot fake it. You have to bring dimensions which are unique to the conversation. The other is consistency. I think a lot of people start with this whole assumption that I started the GD, I did a great job, but do they sustain the energy throughout the conversation? Because 5 minutes into the conversation, they believe they've done their great job and they pause, but then they don't come in to the conversation consistently. So I think I would say quality, consistency, and then ensuring that you're focusing towards that timeline, ensuring that you close and meet the objective of the group discussion. I think as long as you focus on these 2 or 3 things, you're doing a great job on that day. Ahead of a placement season, I hope some of these conversations and tips come in handy for your group discussions. Wishing you all the best.